You guys, so the other day I've seen Ariana Grande using this microphone, this exact microphone, on an interview for Aryan Beauty or something like that, but it was in black. And I know because I've seen her using the exact same microphone right now. I'm so excited about this one. But honestly, I hate the fact that for some reason when I use this microphone, like the sound is not the best, definitely, but hopefully today is going to be better because I'm way too excited for the fact that me and Ariana Grande are using the same fucking microphone. So yeah. Hey my friends, it's Andrea Purvu, and today I welcome you guys back to a new episode of the Prima podcast. For today's episode, I'm going to give advice for freshmen, and I'm honestly so excited for that because I feel like my whole life I've been the therapist friend, and my friends would always come to me for advice, and I would always give them advice and stuff like that. So yeah, to finally make a podcast episode where I'm giving advice is like so wholesome, and yeah. I'll give advice to freshmen because I'm a fresh sophomore. And yeah, without any further ado, let's get started. So, the first advice for freshmen is to understand that what is meant for you is reserved. And honestly, that is the sentence that I would say that is really the theme sentence of my freshman year. Because let me tell you something. So, I don't know how it is in different countries, but at least in Romania, basically at the end of middle school, we have to take an exam and then we receive our grades, and based to that grade, we get into a high school. Basically, we have to make a list with the high schools that we want to get in, and generally, you have to put them basically on the order that you want to get in. So, for example, the first high school you would put the one that your dream high school, and the last high school that you put on that list is the one that you least want to get in there. So basically, you are getting into high schools depending on your grades and on the list that you have done. So I really wanted to get into this specific high school. That was where my best friend was, and yeah, I really wanted to get there. It was close to my home. I really liked it. I remember that before giving this exam, taking this exam, I was going to visit different high schools from my town to basically see the vibes that I'm getting there. I would simply go on the weekends, simply go by them, or some high school would even have their gates open so I could go into the yard and see what's going on, and basically simply feeling the vibes of that high school, because me and my mom are really spiritual people, and yeah, my mom really believed that it's really important to feel the energy of those high schools to understand where I want to get in. And honestly, I really like the energy of the high school. I like the fact that my best friend was there and all the stuff. You know the drill. And anyways, I was so keen into getting into that specific high school. And I didn't get into that specific high school. I got into actually my 22nd option that I put there on that list, and that was actually the high school of one of my closest friends as well. And I remember that she was always telling me to put her high school to be basically the first option, and I would always tell her that there's no way, I'm not doing that. And then when I told her that I put it into the 22nd place, she was like, yeah, I don't know, I think that you will get into my high school. And I was always telling her that there's no way, because I had a high grade. I mean, I didn't have a low grade. I had a high grade, and I was like, yeah, there's no way I'm getting in there. I mean, the high school is not a bad high school, but simply due to the fact that it was on the 22nd place, it made me think that there's no way I'm going to get in there. So I was like, yeah, there's no way I'm going to get in there. I'm going to my dream high school, blah, blah, blah. And somehow, I mean, the grades in that year were really high, and my grade was a high grade, but compared to the amount of perfect tens that were in there, I mean, yeah, I didn't stand a chance. So basically, I did not get into my dream high school, but I got into another high school. And let me tell you something, once I found out that I got into the high school, I was like so mad. I started crying. I've cried for 2 hours straight. Then the whole day when I was remembering that I got into the high school, I started crying again. And not as I said, I mean, that my high school is not a bad one. It's one of the best high schools in my town. But the thing was the fact that I created so many. I mean, I was hoping so much to get into my dream high school. I was already imagining how sorry, how my life would be into that dream high school, how amazing it would be to be every single day with my best friend. And simply I was creating so many memories in my head before getting into that high school. And I was really thinking that I was basically getting really, really attached to my dream high school. So yeah, when I found out that I didn't got in there, it was not the best feeling. And I know that so many students are going through that. And let me tell you something. I've realized this, that as I said, what is meant for you is reserved. And honestly, from after like the first week of the freshman year, I realized that this high school, the one that I got in, is the one that it was meant for me, because the people were definitely so different from the ones from my dream high school. I mean, those people were not my kind of people, but these ones are really my type of friends, and I really created such amazing bonds with the people in here. And then as well, I mean, the teachers are really my type of teachers. They are really, most of them are young, and they simply made me start studying and liking studying because of them. I mean, I started studying because I simply liked how good person they were and the way they were teaching, you know. So yeah, and as well, they have so many clubs. And think about it, I want to study sports management, and in my high school there is this executive desk, which in my dream high school is not. So in my high school, in my dream high school, my ex dream high school, that didn't exist. But in our high school, this executive desk exists, and there are different departments, and it's as well the sports department. And I've candidated to it, and I got into the sports department. And this year, actually, I might become the principal of the sports department. Wish me luck. Fingers crossed. I will become the the principal of that. But yeah, basically, it and with this sports department, I mean, I've gained so much experience for my college, and so much experience for what I want to do in the future. And I mean, this high school, literally from the first days, I've realized that this one, the one that was meant for me, you know. So, yeah, basically, what I want you guys to understand is that, yes, at first, it might be really heartbreaking to not get into the high school that you've always dreamed to get in. But trust me, the high school that you got in is the one that it was meant for you. And if at the end of the day you realize that, hey, maybe it's not really the one that it was meant for me, transfers exist. You can transfer to the high school of your dreams. But most of the times, I mean, and most of my friends, honestly, one I mean, even though they did not get into the high school that they wanted, the moment when they were realizing how the high school that they got in was, and got an idea of how the life there was, they started realizing that this new high school is the one meant for them. So, yeah, as I said, understand that what is meant for you is reserved. Okay, next. Second advice, join clubs. And I stand by this one because honestly, I know that so many people are like, yeah, I don't want to join clubs because I don't know, I mean, I would not have time for anything and stuff like that, which is so dumb. I mean, get into clubs because, first of all, they are the ones that make the high school experience cool. And basically, if you simply just study at high school, you will not get the high school experience, trust me. So get into clubs because they're such a big part and such a major part of the high school experience. And as well, it's really important as a freshman to join clubs because it's easier to make friends. And yeah, I mean, besides the people from your class, you start hanging out with older people, with people from other classes, with people with different interests and stuff like that. So with people from different majors and stuff like that. So yeah, it's really important, especially as a freshman, to start joining clubs. And as I said, I mean, I've joined the sports department, and it really helped me. And honestly, it was just so fun, like organizing the basketball tournaments and the football tournaments, and going with my football team with basically tournaments between high schools and stuff like that. I mean, it's really, really fun. And honestly, I mean, especially these tournaments, I remember that they were literally my favorite part of the freshman year, and especially the football tournaments, because it was simply a vibe. I mean, imagine when when I've organized the football tournament inside of my high school, which was between classes. I mean, it was so nice simply seeing everyone coming to support their classes, and I mean, all that vibe. I mean, it's really a vibe, and I mean, you don't have necessarily to get into. I don't know if you guys have a executive desk, but if you do, I mean, you don't have necessarily to get into that. I mean, you can go to theater, the drama class, I think that's called, or something like that. Yeah, the drama class, or I don't know, painting, or whatever club. Because honestly, especially in high school, I mean, you don't necessarily have to be good at those things. I mean, for example, I wanted as well to apply to the theater club, to the drama club, whatever, and I didn't get in, honestly. But generally in high school, I mean, they don't necessarily search for people that are actually wanting to do acting for like lifelong, and they actually, that's the career that and the path that they want to choose. I mean, it's simply for fun, and like, yeah, I mean, I really recommend to get into clubs that, for example, you're saying that, yeah, but I don't like painting, or I don't like theater, or I don't like that. I mean, get into those because it's simply fun. I mean, it's simply fun. Now, the third advice is to have a routine. Have a routine, because trust me, it's going to help you so much with time management. And honestly, I'm an expert when it comes to time management, because think about it. So I was a freshman in high school. I was having around 7 classes each day, which means spending 7 hours at school. I was doing singing lessons. I was doing English lessons, like private, private outside of high school. Private singing lessons, private English lessons, private belly dance class, because I was doing belly dance in my freshman year. Yes, I've been doing belly dance. Okay, private belly dance class, and as well, like, I was supposed to make time for the sports department. And oh, in the beginning of my freshman year, because I was in the sports department, I've made a cheerleading team, because I basically have done gymnastics before when I was younger. So yeah, I've started a cheer team, and it didn't last for long, but it lasted for like 3 months. So yeah, I mean, I was really busy, and somehow still have managing to get very high grades. I mean, I had the third biggest GPA, the highest GPA in my class, and which was above 9. I mean, it was above, I won't say exactly what it was, but it was basically above 90.80. So it was a high GPA. I was managing to get high GPAs. I was managing to every single weekend to go out. I mean, literally, the secret of time management is having routine. I hate when people are saying that I don't have time for that, I'm too busy, blah blah. That's so not true. You have time for literally everything, trust me. Instead of scrolling on TikTok, instead of, I don't know, simply scrolling and staying on your phone and stuff like that, like losing time, do something, create a routine, and trust me, you'll have time and you will enjoy life so much, and you will be able to ace every single thing that you are doing, every single activity. So yeah, basically, since I was very young, I was having a morning routine, a night routine, an afternoon routine. And anyways, like, our brains are a creature of habits. Our brains, we as human are creatures of habits, and our brains works better when we have a routine. So it's really important to have a routine, because it's all, you feel way more motivated into doing all of these activities and stuff like that, and it will be easier for you, honestly. As I said, trust me, if you have a routine and you have every single day which hour you have to do these specific things and all that stuff, you'll have time for literally everything. Trust me, and you will be able to ace everything, and you won't feel stressed and whatever. I mean, my freshman year was pretty chill, I would say, even though I was having so many activities and stuff like that, because, as I said, I was having a routine. I knew that these specific hours I was supposed to do these things, so it was really easy for me to pretty much ace every single activity that I was doing, as I said, and as well have free time. So yeah. Okay, my fourth advice is to make a first a good first impression to the teachers. This is really important. You guys might not might think that is not that important, and I know how many people, like, once they get into high school, they say that in the the freshman year, you should relax and don't study that much. But trust me, it's really important. Like, at least in the first 3 months, try to get the highest grades. Try to all the time raise your hand. And this is actually a footnote when it comes to this advice. Don't be afraid to raise your hand. Trust me, it's worth it. I mean, I was sometimes scared, not because my class would laugh, but simply because I don't know, I was thinking that maybe my answer is not the best. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I don't stand up to my own standards. I don't want to raise my hand. But honestly, every single time when I was raising my hand, it was worth it because, first of all, teachers will see that you are interested. Second of all, if you make a mistake in front of your teachers, it's going to be easier for you to get better at this subject, because in that moment, you have a one-on-one connection with your teacher. And on a weak subject, on a weak, you guys go on. I mean, for example, you guys are studying biology and you're not good at anatomy, and in that moment you raise your hand and you make a mistake at anatomy, and in that moment you have a one-on-one interaction with your teacher on your weak subjects. I don't know. Anyways, you guys go what I meant, So first of all, you improve a lot. Then actually, that's all. You improve a lot, and you make a good impression to your teacher because they are thinking that you are interested into their subject and that you are actually like trying, So yeah, it's really important to raise your hand. And besides that, what I was saying, that it's really important in the first 3 months, like, study as much as you can, try to get the highest grades, try to get tens almost all the time. I mean, really study as much as you can in the first 3 months, because trust me, if you're going to make a good impression, then the next 4 years is going to be so easy to get high grades. And honestly, I did that. And after the first 3 months, all of the teachers knew me, and they knew that I was like a good kid, and a kid that was all the time studying and that was smart and all that stuff. And then it was so much easier for me to get good grades. And honestly, I was just like, I was not even stressing that hard. I was simply studying like a normal kid. I was not trying that hard, but still I was getting perfect tens and like straight A's and all that stuff. Because, I mean, I'm not saying to become the teacher's pet. No, that's shitty. Do not become the teacher's pet. But simply study and show the teachers that you are smart and that you are capable of getting high grades. Because then, as I said, it's so much easier because, first of all, in the first 3 months, where basically the introductions of each subjects are taught in those 3 months. So in those 3 months, the introductions of all of the subjects are taught. So later on, if you focus on that, later on in the years, it's going to be so much easier to study and stuff like that. And second of all, the teachers, because they are going to know that you are smart, and that you generally know at tests and stuff like that, they would be nicer when they would check your test. Trust me. I mean, it helped me a lot, and as well to other people, it was really helpful to do this. And not only in my high school, but in other high schools as well. So this is literally, a universal rule. In your freshman year, first 3 months, study as much as you can. That is the moment when you can, start sweating and crying. And that's the moment when you have to stress. After that, you are literally, for 4 years, you are going to be relaxed and you're simply going to have fun. But of course, as well, study, because, yeah. But in the way that is not going to be that stressful, you're simply going to study because you are smart, literally. And it's going to be, as I said, so much easier for you to get good grades and stuff like that. So, yeah, make a first good impression to your teachers. Really important stuff. Then, my fifth advice is to try to see what you like instead of chasing high grades. And this is so important because, honestly, in middle school, yes, everybody's chasing high grades. But once you get to high school, it's really important to understand that this is the moment when you have to realize what you want to do with your life and which path you want to follow, and which universities you want to get in. Because when it comes to uni, grades are not that important anymore. they are important, of course, but they mostly care of the whole admission process and the interviews and the all of those stuff, the exams that you have to give for them, to take for them, and all that stuff. I mean, the grades that you get in high school are not that important anymore when it comes to getting into uni. So basically, this is what I recommend. Please stop chasing high grades and start realizing which subjects interest you, which topics interest you. And honestly, I mean, you don't have necessarily to look into like which school subject interests you. Because, for example, I was really passionate about psychology, but then in my freshman year, I realized that hey, I've I was so passionate about football since I was 11, and I mean, as I said, I'm so keen into football. Why shouldn't I do like something in this industry? Like, why shouldn't I get a job in this industry? So yeah, I gave up psychology, even though I really like this topic, and I started doing a few podcasts on psychology and spirituality and all that stuff. And yeah, I mean, I like this subject, but this is a kind of subject that I like in school. I mean, I like to study. I don't necessarily want to get a job in this industry, but I want to get a job in football because I mean, I like this, as I said, I like this topic so much. And it's really, really important to understand that money are not that important if you hate your job. I mean, if you every single day you are going and you are stressed and you hate your job, I mean, money are absolutely useless. So, anyways, this is what I recommend you guys do in your high school, not on in your high school years, not necessarily in your freshman year, but understand which subjects you like. And as I said, it does not really matter if they are school subjects or if they're simply topics, everyday topics like football, or I don't know, you like acting, because acting is as well, I mean, it's not necessarily taught in high schools and stuff like that. So yeah, simply realize what interests you and what you are most passionate about. I mean, look at your hobbies. If you have a hobby, and because football, that was basically what it was my hobby, was the fact that I was liking to do to relax. And then I realized if I love this, I love watching football so much. I'm so interested in this sport. I'm so like keen into it. I'm so into it literally. Why don't I simply get a job? I mean, why don't I spend my life on something that I'm so into instead of, I don't know, getting into a uni where I would study psychology simply because I like the subject, and then yeah, I mean, you get what I mean. So yeah, realize what you're interested in. It doesn't have to be related to school. Just see what you like and try to see which basically universities have a course which is related to your passion. So yeah, in my case, sports management. So yeah. Okay, now, and I have a footnote when it comes to this advice. Is, for example, in high school, especially, I mean, try to start to doing this since you're a freshman year because it's really helpful. If you have the possibility, try to find a company that would help you with your whole admission process. I mean, I found out about it because my mom was ill this year and she was in hospital. And back then, I mean, I was really wanting to get into Cambridge because I was wanting to study psychology. And I mean, when she was in hospital, her roommate, I don't know how you call it. I don't know how you call like the roommate that you have in hospital. But anyways, like her roommate from the hospital told her that she had a granddaughter that studied at Cambridge, and that basically it helped. She used the company to help her with the whole admission process, and yeah, I mean, it helped her a lot. And yeah, after that, my mom contacted this company, and now I'm working with this company to get into the high school, into the university that I want. And honestly, it's like so helpful because there's so much information that is so hard for you to get, and for them as a company, it's so much easier to get related to your university, and they help you so much because they're really professionals when it comes to like the whole admission process, and they help you, like as I said, so much. And it's really important to start from your freshman year because I mean, generally this whole admission process happens in your junior year, but getting it straight from your freshman year, it makes everything so much easier because you have the chance to make it all like from that. I mean, to start it all from early and not be that stressed in your junior year when you have to do all of these things and take all these exams and get all of these internships and all of that stuff to basically have experience on your yeah, on your admission paper and all that stuff. So yeah, it's way easier if you start from your freshman year to prepare for the getting into uni. So yeah, I really encourage you guys to, if you have the possibility, to work with a company that helps you with the admission process, because I do, and it was the best decision that my mom could have ever took. So yeah. Then and as well, they help you so much with like realizing what you like, and like, I mean, that's how basically they oriented me on this like football path, because as I said, I mean, I was wanting to study psychology. I was as well thinking of studying like Arabic literature and language, because I'm really passionate about Arabic and all that stuff, and I as well speak Turkish. So yeah. And yeah, I mean, they've oriented me in, and I was thinking of maybe doing a master's into sports management, because maybe one day I would do something in football, but it was not nothing serious. But then, like, they were, I mean, if you're so keen on this subject, then go for it, you know? And yeah, I mean, they've made me realize that I should really study this and all that stuff. So yeah, they're as well really helpful for you to realize what you want. And yeah, I mean, you can register into these programs without really knowing where you want, where you're heading, or which path you want to follow. I mean, you can go there really clueless, and they will help you so much, honestly. And yeah, now let's move on from this. So my sixth advice for freshmen is to cut toxic people off no matter what. So I know this is really hard, and is really hard for most of the people, because they're thinking, yeah, but I've been friends with this girl for 10 years and stuff like that. I cannot cut her off. But okay, maybe you guys have been friends for 10 years. Maybe you guys had so such amazing memories and stuff like that, but they did you dirty. They did you dirty once, they did you dirty twice, they did you dirty wait, twice. And okay, you guys go on, I mean. And yeah, I mean, it's absolutely, I mean, if they are right now treating you bad and they're making you feel this way and now they're toxic, it really does not matter. You should really cut them off. I mean, you should cut them off, and you should not think that, oh yeah, but if I cut them off, then I will be lonely and stuff like that. Bro, better be lonely than having fake friends. I rather be lonely. You should rather be lonely too. Codependency is shit. Is the worst thing ever. And I mean, so many people sadly are so codependent, and like, really, you guys have to work with yourselves to understand that codependency, first of all, it affects you so badly. I mean, you become such a toxic person without even realizing. And second of all, if you have a friendship or a relationship or whatever, and you are absolutely dependent on that person, if they leave you, like, you feel like your life is not going to be the same and stuff like that, then that relationship is absolutely toxic, even though you do not want to believe and you're saying that, oh, but we love each other so much. No, this is like so toxic. Imagine like not being able to live your life without a person. That's embarrassing, and that is toxic. So yeah, try to get rid of codependency and try to work with yourself to start liking and enjoying time alone is really, really important. And yeah, I mean, cut toxic people off no matter what, no matter all the good memories they had, and no matter if the fact, like, I mean, I know so many people that are like, yeah, but I mean, I hate this person, but I'll keep on following them because we are in the same class. And I'm like, do you guys know how many people I've unfollowed this year that are in the same class as me? And they were asking me like, why did you unfollow me? We're in the same class. Why did you unfollow me? And I told them, because I simply follow my close friends, and I don't want to see on social media like posts of some other people that, I mean, I'm not that great friends with, because I as well tell them that I'm a really spiritual person and I really care about energies, and I do not want to have on my feed like people that don't match my energy and people that I'm not that close with, like literally tell them. I mean, tell them to their face that you do not like them. You do not like them, and you do not want to have them followed. Or if you are too scared to tell them that you don't like them, then at least tell them that, look, I'm following only close friends, and we are not that close. Is that easy, you know? So yeah, it really does not matter the context that you are in with this person or whatever. If they're toxic, if you don't like them, if simply their vibe is off, they might not have, you guys might not have ever talked, but if you simply feel like their vibe is off, then cut them off. It's so easy. Just do that, no matter what. Okay. And then my seventh and last advice is to stay out of drama. And that is a lot to say after I just told you to tell them to their face that you don't like them. But like, this is not actual drama, you know? Actual drama are like big scandals and like gossip and all that stuff. That is drama. But simply like being honest with someone and telling them that, look, I don't like you, that is not drama. But like, let me tell you something. Do not tell them that you don't like them just like that, like out of nowhere, like, you know, super random way. I mean, tell them that you don't like them when, I know, I mean, they're asking you. For example, as I said, they're asking you, like, why did you unfollow them? Like, tell them, look, you are not my kind of person. I don't relate to you, you know? But like, don't be a mean person and don't go like randomly to someone. I'm like, I don't know, like you. I don't like your face. Because that is mean. That is drama. That is drama. But simply being honest, when somebody asks you what's your opinion about them, that's no drama. But like, yeah, stay out of drama. Try to not gossip. I know that is really hard, but try to not gossip about people. Try to not talk bad behind their backs and stuff like that. Because, I mean, that is fucked up, and that really shows what kind of person you are. I mean, if your life is not that interested for you to talk with your friends about your life, then okay. The problem is that you, I mean, if you have the time to actually think about other people's life and like actually go to your friend and talk about other people's life, then get a life. You know, I mean, these kind of people that are gossiping, they're gossiping because they're basically talking about other people's life because they do not have one. So yeah, please get a life and stay out of drama. I mean, that's actually so easy. I mean, you can stay out of drama by simply getting a life, as I said. If you start getting a life, it's so hard to get into drama because like you will all the time be busy, and when you get to see your friends, I mean, on the weekends and stuff like that, I mean, you have so many things to tell your friends about how your week went and how many amazing things you have done and stuff like that, instead of like talking about, yeah, do you know what Eliana did? Do you know what Eliana did? I mean, you would not have the time. I mean, at least I and my friends do not really have the time because we are so, as I told you, I mean, I have so many clubs going on. I have so many private classes. I have so many classes at high school. Like, I do not have time. I mean, when I get to meet my friends on the weekends, I simply tell them everything that happens in my week. And as all my friends do the same thing because we have a life. We do not have time to worry about what Eliana is doing. And that's what I recommend you to do as well. But sometimes you might be dragged into drama. And let me tell you something, the moment when you're dragged into drama, try to escape, try to exit it as fast as you can. I mean, sometimes I know it's really hard. It's very hard to get out of drama because like you try to prove to people like, look, but I didn't do that and I don't think that and stuff like that. But really, you do not have to prove anyone anything. Really, anything. You do not have to do that. Literally, and if they do not, I mean, you can tell your point. That's really important. I mean, stand up for yourself, say your point. But if they do not want to understand it, then simply walk away. Ignore them. Tell them you guys are too dumb for me. And walk away. Literally walk away. It's so easy. And say, besides the fact that like, first of all, you might think that, oh yeah, but then they are going to think this and that. No, they're simply going to think that, oh my god, this girl is so strong and this girl does not want to prove anything to me. And maybe they at first, like consciously, they would say that, oh yeah, she walked away because she did not know how to answer, to respond to what I was telling her and she's weak and stuff like that. Trust me, subconsciously and after a bit of time when they're going to process it, they're going to respect you so much, or no, actually, they're going to be so envious of you for the fact that you had the power and that you absolutely did not give a fuck on what they were thinking, and you simply had the power to walk away and leave it like that because you do not care about anything. You do not have to prove anything to no one. So, yeah, this was it for today, you guys. I hope you guys liked this video. I've honestly really enjoyed shooting this video. This is so far my favorite video that I've ever shot. So, yeah, I'm really excited. Okay, so I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Share it to your friends if you think that any of this information might be useful to them. Comment down below any suggestion for me to improve and stuff like that. And subscribe to keep in tune with all of my uploads. Okay, you guys. Bye!